Be seated. We're going to enact this story, these words, this gospel, this part of Jesus' life today. And this being a family service, I'd like to invite all the children, all the children who want to come up and sit right up here, right up front. Right here, I think, is going to be the perfect spot today. So you can sit here and be looking this way. Will be the easiest thing. Yeah, find a good seat. You can use that as your kind of backrest there. We're going to need this space for telling the story. So just scoot this way a little. Yeah, come on right up. And your parents can come with you. That's okay. Yeah. But don't scoot too far in, because we're gonna tell the story right in this place here. Yeah, sit right here. This is perfect. This is all open right here. Yeah, great. Thaddeus, do you want to come up? You're welcome to come up. You can sit right here with Joey. Okay. You can sit with your folks too. That's all right. So I need some help to tell the story today. A couple of people who want to use their big voices today. All right. I see 3 hands. All right. Yep. Great. Let's see. Would you two be disciples today? Okay. You're going to be Cleopas, okay? And you're going to be the other disciple. I don't know what their name is. It doesn't tell us. All right? Joey, are you good to sit here? You can sit right here with Fallon. Perfect. You're going to be Jesus. All right. But I'm going to tell you a little secret for your part. At the beginning, they don't know that you're Jesus. Okay. You're going to start over here, Isle. Come here, disciples. You're coming over to Jerusalem. We're just gonna scoot our way over here to Jerusalem. All right. And now I'm gonna give you your lines, so you don't need to see any papers or anything. And you listen to my words, so you'll know what words to say. I'm going to say them to you kind of quiet, but you try saying them loud. Let's practice that. I'm telling you quiet words, and then you make them loud, okay? Quiet words. Now you say, quiet words! Quiet words. Okay, let's try it again. Quiet words. Okay. Okay, good. That way everyone can hear the story. And also listen to my words for the actions to do, okay? All right. Get your body ready. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And if we can use our big voices and act it out, then these folks won't need their bulletins either. The Holy Gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, according to Luke. In the afternoon of that 3rd day after Jesus had died, 2 disciples were traveling. Traveling to the village of Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking to each other as they walked along about all the things that had just happened, about Jesus's arrest and his death, and then the strange things that had happened just this morning. While they were discussing these things, Jesus himself came near. Their eyes, though, were prevented from recognizing him. They didn't know that it was Jesus. And Jesus joined them on their journey. Let me journey over to about here. Jesus said to them, "What are you talking about as you walk along?" What are you talking about? They stopped, and their faces were sad. Maybe turn out that way so people can see your sad faces. What are your sad faces? I know you both have sad faces, right? Sometimes. Okay. It's hard when you're acting, right? Well, they stopped and their faces looked sad. And then Cleopas said, "Are you the only one in Jerusalem?"
Are you the only one in Jerusalem?
That was good, but bigger. Are you the only one in Jerusalem? Can you say it loud?
Are you the only one in Jerusalem?
Who is unaware
Who is unaware
of what took place there these last days? Of what happened? Say, of what happened?
of what happened
These last 3 days?
these last 3 days?
Jesus said to them, "What things?"
What things?
The things about Jesus.
The things about Jesus.
Because of his powerful deeds
Because of his powerful deeds
and words,
and words,
God and everyone saw that he was a prophet.
God saw that he was a prophet.
That was good. Louder though. Bigger. Everyone saw that he was a prophet. And the other disciples said, "But our leaders handed him over to death."
We just handed him over to death.
That's good, but everyone who needs to hear the story is over there. Say, but our leaders handed him over to death.
But our leaders
Handed him over to death.
handed him over to death
And crucified him.
and crucified him.
We hoped
We hoped
that he would save Israel.
that he would save Israel.
All these things happened 3 days ago.
All these things happened 3 days ago.
Then Cleopas said, "But there's more.
But there's more.
Some women from our group
Some women from our group
said that he was alive."
that said he was alive.
So other people ran to the tomb,
So everyone ran to the tomb,
but it was empty.
but it was empty.
They didn't see Jesus.
They did not see Jesus.
Jesus said to them, "You foolish people,
You foolish people.
your heavy hearts keep you from believing.
Your heavy hearts keep you from believing.
Wasn't it necessary
Wasn't it necessary
for the Christ to suffer these things
for the Christ to suffer these things
and then enter glory?"
and then enter glory?
And Jesus began to interpret for them all the scriptures. Yeah, that's a tough one to act out. Jesus began to interpret for them all the scriptures, from Moses all the way to the prophets. They were journeying all this time, all the way up here, coming towards Jerusalem, coming towards Emmaus from Jerusalem. Yes, journey. And they journeyed up, and the disciples were coming to Emmaus. And as they were, yes, right to it. This is your Emmaus table. As they were coming to Emmaus, Jesus acted as though he was going to go on ahead. But both the disciples said, "Stay with us.
Stay with us.
The day's almost over."
The day is almost over.
So, as they went in and sat down, Jesus came in and sat down with them. After Jesus took his seat at the table with the disciples, he took the bread, gave thanks to God for it, and broke it and gave it to the disciples. In that moment, their eyes were opened and they recognized Jesus. How would you feel when you recognized Jesus all of a sudden? Act it out somehow. Hey, look, it's Jesus. And in that moment, Jesus disappeared from their sight. The disciples said to each other together, they both said, "Weren't our hearts on fire?"
Were our hearts on fire?
When he talked to us on the road? Then they got up immediately and ran all the way back to Jerusalem to tell all the other disciples what they had heard. They ran all the way back to Jerusalem, which is over there by the pulpit. And the other disciples were gathered already in Jerusalem. And when they showed up, the other disciples said, "He's really risen." And then the two disciples from the road told their story. And everybody knew that Jesus was alive. The gospel of the Lord. Thank you, actors. Thank you, Ira. You can stay right up here. We're gonna have a little sermon now, a little homily. So you can find a good seat there, right down there on the floor. It's the perfect spot. I wonder what part of this story you like best. I wonder what part you like best. Yeah? When Jesus disappeared and they were like, huh? That was your favorite too?
My favorite was when disciples sat down and Jesus broke the bread. That was my favorite too.
All three of you who were actually at the table acting it out, your favorite part was when the disciples sat down with Jesus and Jesus broke the bread.
Because we laughed.
Any others? I wonder what your favorite part was. When they ran to Jerusalem. And I wonder what you think maybe is the most important part of the story. When they opened their eyes. Anyone else? I wonder if there's any part of this. Amalia, could you sit just here? That way we can all be part of this together. Amalia, can you sit? I know, but if you do, then you might be talking the whole time. But I do have some questions. I was wondering if there's any part of this story we could leave out and still have the full story. Probably not. Okay, anyone else? Some part we could leave out and still have the full story? I wonder where you are in this story, or who you might be in this story. You'd be Jesus. We've been telling this story. We've been using this story to help us be the church at St. Andrew's the last 4 years. We've been walking with the Emmaus story. It's a long story. So to hold on to it and bring it with us in our hearts, we've been shortening the story, and we've been saying, walking together, recognizing Jesus, practicing resurrection. Walking together. What part of the story is that? What part of the story we just acted out was walking together? Yeah, Isla. Yeah, when they just met Jesus, but they didn't know it was Jesus, and they're on the road together, they're walking. Yeah, a lot of folks have told me that this is the easiest part of the story for them to connect to. I asked where you might be in the story. A lot of people have said to me, walking together, I get that part. I think I'm in that part. And there's a lot of places we walk together with people, right? We walk together with people on the playground, and we walk together with people at our work, and we walk together with friends, and we walk together with family. There's all kinds of walking together. recognizing Jesus. What part of the story was that? Where did they recognize Jesus? Yeah. When Jesus broke the bread. And I think maybe I noticed that Jesus didn't just break the bread, but he took it and said thank you to God for it, and broke it and gave it to them. And there's that kind of whole moment happening at the table. Any of you have people over for dinner ever? Yeah. Yeah. We've all done that. Have any of you helped to cook a meal for the Family Promise families, the guests who come and stay in this church? I know some of you have, yeah. And have any of you ever, maybe this is more for the adults, but have any of you in the last year gone and helped to serve food at the Friendly Kitchen? Yeah. Have any of you been part of TLC, bringing meals to people, food to people, or bread to people in the last year? Yeah, yeah. Any of the rest of you ever eat meals with other humans? Everyone in this room, right? We've all done this. We've all had a chance. So when you had those meals or you cooked those meals for people, did you ever pray and thank God before the meal and then look in other people's eyes as you gave them the food? You ever do that at dinner? Yeah. You do it at your house? Anyone else? Did you do that when you were having meals with people? I see a few yeahs. Yeah. Probably I see a few looks like, no, Reed, we did not do that. If you did that, did you see Jesus? No? This is a tricky part of the story to get a hold of. People have said, wow, how would I recognize Jesus? Well, we got these instructions right here. You go to the table and you sit down and you thank God for the food and you break the bread and you share it and you look at people as you share it. And what the disciples started to realize was that they could see Jesus in anyone if they came to it in that way, if they did those things at the table. So I think we should all be trying that out and seeing who we find across the table from us. Okay, so that's two pieces, walking together, recognizing Jesus. What about practicing resurrection? What part of the story is that? This one's tricky, but I know you guys are pretty clever. Okay, so let's practicing resurrection. What is resurrection? I don't know. What is resurrection? Does anyone know what that word means? What does it mean? Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Lifting up. That's a good definition of what resurrection is. When was Jesus resurrected? It's in the picture right there. Yeah. When he raises the bread, I think that's part of resurrection. And the very first moment of resurrection is when he came out of the tomb. He came back from being dead to be alive again. That's resurrection, being dead and being alive again. So do you remember what those two disciples, when Jesus said, "What are you talking about?" Do you remember when they stopped right here? And what did they look like? What did they try to look like? They looked sad. But what did they look like by the end of the story? Happy? What else were they doing? How were they acting at the end of the story? Amazed, probably. They were running. They were telling the story. So to go from being sad here and then amazed and running and telling the story, that's resurrection. All of that is resurrection. And there's actually a bunch more of the Bible stories after this moment that we acted out today. So I think that practicing resurrection is the running and the amazement and sharing the story about what had just happened to them. But it's also everything they did with the rest of their lives, because they started doing the things Jesus did, healing people and teaching the story and feeding people and sharing everything they had and opening their hearts with love. Big stuff. We've had some people will say to me, well, it's really hard to get to that practicing resurrection piece. But what's the amazing thing about the story we told today is that all of it began just with walking together. The part that we all say, oh, I can do that. I thought it's worth noticing that there's something special about the way they walk together. It's not just walking together that leads to recognizing Jesus and practicing resurrection. And when they were walking together, what were they saying to each other? They were talking about Jesus. They were being brave to share their hopes. We hoped that Jesus would save all of Israel. So they were able to open their hearts and say what their hopes were. They were able to open their hearts and say what they were so sad about. They said to this stranger, we're so sad. We thought Jesus was going to be the one. Because they opened their hearts and they were willing to just share with someone they met on the road about these things that were so important to them. They were willing to learn from this other person that they met. That's the kind of walking together, a specific kind of walking together that leads to running back to Jerusalem in the middle of the night to tell the story that you just heard. So I think we could do that. I think we could be those kind of people. I think we are those kind of people when we're brave to walk together in that way. It all starts with that wonderful, strange sort of walking together. So today for Welcome Sunday, we're gonna continue this celebration even after worship. We're gonna continue with a celebration outside. There's gonna be a ministry fair and a picnic and name tags to decorate. And when we go out to the ministry fair, it's gonna be a celebration of all the different ways that we walk together as the church here. And I'm gonna give you guys these cards. Can you take some of these? Just take a few. I need your help to hand these out to people. Yeah, Joey, can you take a few of those? Yeah, just grab a handful. Yeah, I need your help. Can you go start handing these out to people? Give 2 or 3 of these to everyone. Go find a stranger on the road and hand them some cards. We're going to take these cards. Oh, go find an adult. Yeah. I'm going to hand them out to all the kids. Then you kids go hand them out to the adults. They need you to find them on the road and share these with them. And you can, when you get out to the ministry fair, write your name on a couple of these. And every ministry out there will have a vessel in front of it. And you can write your name on these and put them into the vessel of a ministry you're already a part of to celebrate that you are walking together in that ministry. Or you can put them into the vessel of a ministry that you'd like to try out. And a leader from that ministry will call you up and help you. Yeah, here's more. Thank you. You can put them in the vessel of a ministry that you'd like to try out or that you are already in to celebrate, that you're recommitting to that walking together. And if you're online, you can email the office. Sorry, I don't have any neon pink emails for you, but email the office with the things you want to celebrate that you are a part of or that you'd like to try on. Thank you. Thank you all for helping to bring this gospel alive up front and by passing out these walking together cards. And with these in hand, we will go and be the Emmaus people.